So this is a little puzzle. How many squares do you see up there? 16, that's a good start. Keep looking. 17. 21, we're getting hot. 25, we're getting hotter. It's a finite amount, so we're getting close. 26, 28. Well, let me show you, because we're very close, and we're obviously figuring out how this works, right? We have the individual squares, and then we have the big one that gets us to 17. And we have some that are made up of 4. And they're overlapping ones. I'm not going to point them all out, but the concept is they're a bunch made up of 4, which gets us to 26. And the ones that are harder to see, there's some that are made up of 9. Do you see them made up of 9 now? There are 4 of those. So the answer would be 30. Now, I didn't do this to torture you. For me, this puzzle is actually a wonderful analogy of what I want to explore with you this evening. Because first glimpse, your answer was correct. We see 16. You're absolutely right. And then we realize there are more and more layers. And the work that I do, and I have some esteemed colleagues in the audience who do similar work, the layers is where the work gets interesting. And I think the layers is where the real success happens in business. And I called it Why They Hire Us. I know it's different from what was advertised, but you're getting the same conversation. Because they hire us because of the layers, not because of the 16 boxes. So here's something else I was thinking about. This was the first time I sort of got that lesson for myself. I'm going to take you back to, this is the late 1980s, a long time ago. I was at the time a successful professional theater director and acting coach in New York. I was your typical show business workaholic. I was blessed that I was working a lot and I felt like I had to take every job because if I didn't, I would never work again. And in 1989, November, is the first time I stopped and took 6 weeks off. And I went to a retreat center in a funky little place called Rim Rock, Arizona. Anybody know where Rim Rock is? It's fine. You have no reason of knowing where Rim Rock is. It's not a sexy place to go to. But it's the first time in my life that I looked at myself. And for 6 weeks, it was run by a woman named Reverend Mona. She did some pretty funky stuff. We could talk about it all evening, but I don't have the time. But this is the moment that really stood out for me. There was this barn, and she did these personal development exercises, stuff I'd never done in my life. And she pulled me outside of the barn, and she just looked at me. She had an intense look. She had this spiky, funny hair. And she said to me, "You need to stop being a doormat." And I paused, and she really pissed me off when she said that. Because I was a successful theater director, right? I had reviews that said I was fantastic. So I had some evidence that I knew what the heck I was doing. But she saw right through to the deeper level where I wasn't showing up as powerfully as I could, and she named it. It's the first time that somebody named it for me. We're going to talk a little bit about personal power later, but it related to my sense of myself. And even though I had this illusion of being successful, I wasn't fully showing up in my world. So let's deconstruct some of that a little bit. And everything we're talking about right now, these are the kind of conversations I have with my clients who are also very successful on one level, but not connecting as deeply as they could.